Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and like. Our series begins with a small child at an amusement park with his mother. Suddenly, while he's playing, he notices that his mother has disappeared. He starts running around looking for her, but the shock is that he can't find her anywhere. He begins to panic, feels extremely sick, and suddenly faints. When he wakes up, his grandfather takes him to the doctor, where they discover that our hero has developed a rare disease. He can no longer recognize faces or distinguish between people. Years pass, and our hero grows up, and as is tradition in any cheap TV series, dear viewer, he turns out to be rich and handsome. But we learn that he has one major flaw. He can't keep any relationship because he's narcissistic and unbearable. Go on then, Nan, his only friend, and help our hero out. When Nan calls him, our hero gets annoyed because his chocolate drink still hasn't arrived. They find out that the secretary who was with him ran away like all the others, and he still hasn't hired a new one. But our hero doesn't care and tells Nan to handle it, then says, "I want her in front of me in minutes." This upsets Nan's mother, who is also our hero's aunt. She's a chameleon, dear viewer, and she hates the way our hero treats her son. She keeps scolding Nan because he does all the hero's work alone and exhausts himself for him. She insists they must hire a new secretary immediately. Now we move to our heroine, whose name is Reem. She works with her mother delivering cakes. She appears to be well-liked and experienced at her job. Even though she graduated a long time ago, she still hasn't worked in her field. When she gets home, she overhears her mother and grandmother talking about her and how unlucky she is. Every time she applies for a job, miraculously, she gets rejected. Feeling guilty, she decides to give her absolute best in the interview she has coming up. The next day, she prepares herself for the interview. Meanwhile, our hero arrives at his office, and the maid rushes in with his chocolate drink, but he doesn't like it, so he decides to move the interview time forward to find a secretary faster. At the same time, our heroine is on her way to the company when she suddenly gets a call informing her that the interview time has been moved up. She starts running to make it on time. Nan then finds out that our hero changed the interview time on a whim. The secretary informs them that all candidates have arrived except one. When Nan looks at Reem's file, he likes her and asks them to wait for her. Our heroine arrives, extremely nervous, fumbling and making mistakes everywhere. Our hero enters and sees her, but as usual, he can't recognize her face. Still, that doesn't stop him from bullying her and mocking her appearance, even though he can't see her at all. "You animal." But our heroine isn't weak. She doesn't stay silent. She snaps back, defends herself, and embarrasses him in front of everyone, telling him she arrived on time and that they were the ones who changed the appointment and that he should apologize. Our hero doesn't care and bluntly tells her she's rejected anyway, adding that he doesn't like her outfit. This hurts our heroine deeply. She realizes he's superficial, narrow-minded, and unfit to judge people based on appearance. She starts talking about the company and its history, showing that she understands the business better than anyone else. Our hero gets annoyed by her confidence and arrogance, but decides to give in and offer her a chance. He asks her to come to his office. While reading her CV, he discovers that she's always been outstanding, quick-witted, and has an exceptional memory. He decides to hire her on one condition: she must change her attitude and her appearance. When she tries to object, he tells her it's no longer a condition, it's mandatory. He hands her a huge stack of papers and orders her to memorize them all, warning her that if she forgets even one word, she'll be fired. Our heroine is shocked by his cruelty and judgment and leaves. Nan follows her, tries to comfort her, and eventually convinces her, in his own gentle way, to change her style and appearance. She finally agrees. They go shopping, buy new clothes, and she changes her unusual hairstyle. They grow close and become friends, to the point where Nan learns her real name. She tells him about her mother and how she named her after her favorite friend. Nan, with his sharp intelligence, senses there's a mystery behind her name. And yes, dear viewer, that's a dramatic plot point, so pay attention. When our heroine returns home with her new clothes and hairstyle, her mother is shocked and accuses her of stealing money. Reem explains that it's all on the company's account. Her mother rejoices, saying she always believed in her daughter and that her luck has finally turned. Reem clarifies that she's still on probation, but she won't rest until she gets the job. She stays up all night memorizing everything she was given and succeeds. The next day, she wears the clothes Nan bought her and goes to the company. Nan is stunned by her beauty and realizes she's now fully ready to work with them. She meets our hero, who is secretly impressed by her appearance, but tries to hide his feelings. He orders her to prepare his favorite chocolate drink, threatening to fire her if she fails. Nervous, she agrees and prepares it. When he tastes it, he's shocked. She made it perfectly, exactly the way he likes it, even better. He asks her how she knew the recipe. She casually responds, questioning why he's acting like she invented something extraordinary. It's just a drink. He admits admits he hired many maids before, but none could make it correctly except her. He insists she tell him how she learned it. To escape the situation, she reveals that her mother taught her. She now has leverage over him. If he fires her, the recipe disappears too. He tells her that before leaving, she must teach all the other maids. She refuses. He tries to buy the recipe from her. She refuses again. Angry, he orders her to make 3 cups, warning her that if she's late, he'll accuse her of stealing the recipe. Furious, she storms out and complains to Nan about how arrogant and merciless he is. Nan asks her to forgive him and be patient. Later, our hero decides to take her with him to a party. He gives her a list to memorize and takes her to a very expensive dress shop. Not just any shop, dear viewer, but outrageously expensive. She chooses a dress, and when she tries it on, our hero is stunned by her beauty, despite not being able to see her. Bravo, truly. On the way to the party, he tells her he needs her by his side to tell him who's coming and going, since he can't recognize faces. During the party, a beautiful woman named Tanya approaches him, clearly interested, and treats our heroine like a servant. When Tanya asks him out, he tells her to coordinate with his secretary and check his schedule. Our heroine warns her, sarcastically, to book an appointment. Later, our heroine realizes she's lost our hero and goes searching for him. When she finds him, he gets angry, accusing her of abandoning him despite knowing about his illness. He reveals that he was looking for a place to hide because of panic. She snaps back, blaming him for leaving her first. He then orders her to fill his schedule with appointments, threatening to fire her if she doesn't. She immediately points out a major investor standing in front of him. He goes to greet the investor, who turns out to be her. She tells him she's decided to invest in all his applications. She asks him to speak a little about her. Nan is about to explain, but our hero interrupts and asks our heroine to explain instead. The heroine starts presenting new information, reciting it better than her own name. Our hero notices this, and the heroine impresses the investor even more with the application. The investor repeats her decision to invest and keeps praising the secretary, but at the end, our heroine messes things up and upsets the investor because of her bluntness. She speaks badly about the investor's sister's jewelry brand. The investor gets angry, feels embarrassed, and leaves. Our hero explodes in anger at the heroine, and she gets upset and leaves. Nan yells at our hero and tells him that he won't look for another secretary for him, and that if this one disappears, it's not his responsibility. Our hero runs after her, trying to bring her back. At the same time, our heroine is fed up with her life and goes to the bridge. Meanwhile, our hero feels guilty and goes looking for her. He sees her and thinks she's about to throw herself off the bridge, so he runs to stop her. She screams, just trying to let out everything bottled up inside her. That's all, dear viewer. In the end, she realizes he's actually standing in front of her and that he heard her while she was yelling and venting. Nan arrives and calls her by her real name. Our hero is surprised by the name and senses something strange about it. Nan then says, "Forget the name for now. What's going to happen with her? Are you firing her or what? If you fire her, I'll hire her myself. You can go look for another secretary." They start arguing over her, but the heroine intervenes and makes it clear she's not an object. She will decide who she works with. She leaves, but Nan doesn't let her walk alone and follows her. Our hero feels guilty, realizing that his behavior pushes everyone away and leaves no one able to get close to him. Nan comforts the heroine, telling her that our hero is actually kind and that one day he'll change. He apologizes to her on our hero's behalf. She thanks Nan for always helping her. When Nan returns home, our hero comes to him and talks it out. He asks him if he's upset because he fired her. Nan tells him honestly that there was no reason to humiliate her like that. He directly asks him if he wants to fire her just because her name is the same as his mother's. Our hero snaps and raises his voice. His chameleon aunt storms out, scolds him harshly, mocks him, and tells him he needs someone to discipline him properly. She leaves angrily. When she's asked about the argument, Nan explains that the secretary made a big mistake and almost ruined an important deal. His mother starts manipulating him, telling him he should bring her back just so she can sabotage his work until he's forced out and the company becomes Nan's. Then she'll throw everything on his head and leave. She promises to help Nan, continuing to poison his mind like the scorpion she is. Meanwhile, the heroine thinks about what happened and how she yelled at our hero. She's afraid she'll actually be fired and end up back at square one. She decides to take initiative and bake him a cake. Maybe it'll calm things down, and go apologize. The next day, she goes to the company, but discovers he's disappeared. No one knows where he is. She racks her brain and finally figures out where he might be, the amusement park. She goes there and finds him sitting alone. She rushes to him, surprising him. He asks how she found him and is happy that she cared enough to look. He forgives her and agrees to rehire her. She's shocked at how easily he accepted her back and asks why he's there. He tells her his story. His mother brought him there long ago, and after that day, day, she disappeared. Ever since then, whenever he's upset, he comes to this place. She asks him what he would do if his mother appeared in front of him again. He says he'd do the same thing she did to him, disappear. The heroine is deeply affected and decides she'll stay by his side and never leave him. They spend the day together. Our hero takes advantage of the moment and asks her to come with him on Saturday when he's meeting Tanya. She agrees. When she arrives at the restaurant and sees Tanya, Tanya starts humiliating her, wiping the floor with her dignity. But this time, the heroine doesn't stay silent. She fires back. Our hero sees this, jokes along with the heroine, and leaves with her. Tanya gets furious. The heroine goes to meet Nan and tells him what happened. She admits she's scared of Tanya and feels that our hero might be attracted to her. Nan reassures her that she has nothing to worry about. Tanya is silly and harmless. Later, the heroine takes our hero to her house to bake him a cake. She tries to sneak him in quietly, but when her mother comes out and sees him, she becomes suspicious. Her grandmother joins in and panics, telling her that if she doesn't fix this mistake and marry him, they'll all end up ruined. Our hero is shocked and says, "What did I get myself into? I swear I just came to eat cake." He runs away before they finish him off. The heroine chases after him, trying to calm things down and explaining that he's her boss. She says his name, and it becomes clear that her mother knows him from the past. Suddenly, flashback time, dear viewer. We learn that our hero's mother disappeared because she discovered she had Alzheimer's disease. She was afraid it would affect her son, so she chose to leave him. At that time, she met the heroine's mother, who was her closest friend, and asked her not to tell anyone where she was or reveal her secret. Back in the present, the heroine's mother is shocked and asks if he's really the son of the woman they met years ago. The heroine confirms it and begs her mother not to tell him anything. Her mother gets angry and says she made a huge mistake getting close to him. If he finds out the truth, they'll all be in trouble, especially her daughter. The heroine tries to convince her that she can change his feelings toward his mother, but her mother refuses and orders her not to interfere. The next day, the heroine bakes a cake with our hero. Afterward, she goes to the church to visit his mother, as usual bringing cake with her. She asks her to eat some. His mother is surprised and asks what's special about this cake. The heroine tells her that her son baked it himself. His mother believes her, starts crying, and feels incredibly happy, but also scared. She asks if he knows where she is. The heroine denies it. When she asks how she got close to him, the heroine admits the truth. It wasn't a coincidence. She applied to his company many times and kept getting rejected, so she used her name, baked him the cake and the chocolate drink he loved as a child. Thanks to those two things, she succeeded in getting close to him. Suddenly, his mother's condition worsens. She forgets the heroine, starts screaming, and treats her like a stranger. Her condition is clearly very serious, dear viewer. That's why she decided to abandon her son in the first place. The next day, the heroine goes to work and finds out there's an important meeting. The company president asks about what they did regarding the deal. Nan's scorpion mother seizes the opportunity and frames our hero, claiming the secretary ruined the deal. She suggests giving the project to Nan instead, but the president refuses to take the work away from our hero and insists they cooperate to fix the mistake. Our hero feels humiliated by her manipulation and leaves the meeting. Nan's mother notices the secretary's name and becomes suspicious. She asks who gave her that name, and when the answer comes quickly, her doubts grow. She feels there's a mystery behind this girl and decides to investigate her background. The heroine follows our hero and tries to comfort him, but he says he doesn't care about that woman's words. She always tries to humiliate him and reminds him he grew up without a mother. He decides to teach her a lesson by finding a new investor and proving himself. He explains that if he succeeds, his grandfather will make him the project director until the end. He tells her he's been searching and discovered a major investor named Noy, but the problem is that Noy has been missing for a while and no one can reach him, so he takes the heroine with him to search for Noy themselves. They go to a park full of elderly people and start looking for someone matching the description. They finally suspect one man, but when they try to talk to him, he refuses to listen. Our hero insists on following him because he's convinced he's the one. He tries to win his favor by mimicking his movements. The heroine snaps at him, saying, "Have you fallen into a stupidity swamp, or what is this nonsense? What kind of madness is this? God, I barely survived one idiot. Now you want me to deal with two?" They then go to Nan. He meets Tanya and suggests she invest in the company. Tanya says she's not interested and that money doesn't matter to her. Nan tells her this is a great chance to get close to our hero freely and starts manipulating her into working with him. She looks surprised. She asks him, "Since when is this love?" He realizes that he's ready to do anything, even step over our hero himself to achieve his dream. At that point, he'll open his own company. Let's go back to our hero. After his strength is completely drained, the old man finally agrees to listen to him. He says, "I know you came to get me to sign an insurance deal, and I agree. Let's let's go. Our hero is shocked and asks, insurance for what? They explain that they came because he's an investor. The old man laughs and says, if I had money, would I look like this? Our hero is stunned and asks, aren't you Noi? The man replies, who's Noi? My name is Bach. And just like that, dear viewer, all that effort goes straight down the drain. But our heroine reassures him that she won't stop until they find Noi and tells him not to be upset. When she goes home, she asks her mother to deliver cake to a neighbor. The neighbor loves the cake, and there the heroine is shocked when someone is called Noi. She realizes that this woman is the major investor everyone has been searching for. She runs after her and tries to convince her with their application. The heroine succeeds in setting up a meeting for our hero to present the app himself. She's overjoyed and immediately goes to tell our hero, who is thrilled as well. Nan arrives, hears the news, and realizes that our hero has finally reached what he's been chasing. Our hero takes the heroine to meet Noi. When he starts explaining his idea, Noi isn't convinced. She thinks he's just a reckless young man and says, what do you know about the elderly, diseases, or the poor? Young people these days only care about love. You're probably just like them. And honestly, you seem like a child. Our hero begs her to give him a chance, but she ignores him and leaves. They are forced to tell her the truth, that he has face blindness and can't recognize people's faces, and that he created the app to help himself before helping others. She's shocked, starts crying, and his words deeply affect her. Because of that, she agrees to give him a chance, takes the project idea from him, and tells them she'll contact him soon. The heroine is overjoyed and promises our hero that she'll always stay by his side and support him. When she returns home, her mother notices that she's changed lately and that she spends a lot of time with our hero. She worries that her daughter joined this job for a specific reason, and if he ever finds out that she used his mother's name to get the job and that she knows where his mother is, he won't leave her alone. The heroine decides that she'll help him first, then resign, and never get close to him again. At work, she tells him she has a solution to his condition and gives him a device that can help him sense the other person's emotions by pressing it. Our hero loves the idea and thanks her sincerely. At the same time, Nan receives information about Noi. She's an elderly, wealthy woman who retired 2 years ago, and she's not a myth like people claimed. Tanya arrives at the company just as the heroine takes our hero downstairs to greet the employees after teaching him the new method. When Tanya notices how close he is to his secretary, she gets furious. She realizes she's willing to spend all her money just to ruin the investment, just to crush the secretary. The heroine senses Tanya's anger and becomes afraid. Knowing she plans to sabotage the deal, she suggests finding another investor since Noi hasn't contacted them yet, but our hero refuses. He tells her he'll wait for Noi no matter what, and that she's the only person who will stay by his side. The day of the meeting arrives. Everyone is present. Nan's chameleon mother notices that our hero still has no investor and prepares to mock him, but suddenly the door knocks. The investor has arrived. She apologizes for being late and asks everyone to leave so she can speak privately with the president. Our hero takes his secretary and leaves. Tanya takes advantage of the moment and speaks harshly to the heroine, but our hero defends her. Suddenly, his grandfather calls him away. As soon as he leaves, Tanya insults the heroine again and threatens her. If she doesn't leave on her own, she'll destroy her career with a scandal, so no one will ever hire her again. The heroine is deeply hurt and goes up to the rooftop alone. Nan finds her and comforts her, telling her not to listen to Tanya, the jealous, hateful girl. The heroine says she's not surprised. She knows how they see her, just a secretary, nothing more. She says it's impossible for any of them to like her. Nan asks how she knows that. What if he likes her? She's shocked and is about to respond when our hero calls her. She rushes toward him, but discovers the door is locked. They're trapped inside. Nan sees his chance and is about to confess his feelings when our hero arrives, opens the door, takes the heroine, and leaves immediately. When the heroine gets home and tells her mother what happened and how she helped our hero, she's happy, but her mother reminds her that it's time to resign. The heroine hates the idea, but knows she has no choice. She decides to visit our hero's mother before resigning. The next day, she gets dressed and leaves, unaware that someone is watching her. She reaches his mother and shows her pictures of him, telling her what happened at work and how kind and successful he'll be. She apologizes, saying that starting tomorrow, she'll resign and won't be able to bring her pictures anymore. His mother is upset and asks her to think carefully and not abandon him the way she did. Meanwhile, Nan's chameleon mother receives a report with photos of the heroine. The investigator tells her that the girl applied to the company many times and was only accepted after changing her name. He also reveals that she visits a church, despite not being Christian, to see a strange elderly woman. When he shows her the woman's photo, she's shocked. It's the hero's mother. She finally understands everything and decides to use all this this information against our hero. The next day at work, the heroine notices how energetic and happy our hero is, completely unlike his usual self. She grows anxious, wondering how she'll resign now. Suddenly, our hero calls for a meeting and proposes a new app that helps find missing people. Nan objects, pointing out that some people leave their homes intentionally and that they can't launch such an app without considering all aspects. Our hero explodes in anger, admitting that he made the app to find his mother. The argument escalates. They remind him he can't mix personal life with work, or their grandfather will fire them all. The heroine tries to intervene and calm things down, but he snaps at her, saying she could never understand. She grew up surrounded by family, while he lived alone his whole life. She breaks down crying. He feels guilty, apologizes, and takes her to the amusement park. The heroine finally feels happy. Suddenly, our hero begins to have a moment of realization. Ever since he met our heroine, his life has changed for the better. Not only that, he has also started to become liked by the employees, and no one treats him badly anymore. He is about to ask her to be in a relationship with him, but he is shocked to find that she has disappeared. He keeps searching for her like a madman, feeling as if time is repeating itself and that he is back in the same amusement park where his mother once left him. But when he finally finds her, he hugs her and asks her not to leave him again. Our heroine becomes even more nervous than before, but she tries to hide her anxiety. She accompanies our hero home, keeps thanking him, and cries, while he, of course, doesn't see anything and thinks they are tears of joy. Honestly, he fully trusts God. Anyway, let's continue. When he goes to the company the next day, our heroine still hasn't arrived, even though it's very late. He starts to panic and suspects that she quit the job, which is confirmed when one of the employees comes and gives him her resignation, informing him that she actually left 2 days ago. At that moment, he can't take it anymore. He rushes out to look for her, and when he finds Nan, Nan goes with him. Each of them searches in a different place, and our hero eventually manages to find her in a location she had once told him she goes to when she's upset. As soon as he sees her, he scolds her, telling her how worried he was, to the point that he was about to report her missing, and that he is ready to do anything for her to come back and work with him again. She is deeply affected by his words and starts crying. At the same time, when Nan returns home, he finds his mother and Thania sitting together. She takes out a photo and shows it to him. He is surprised and asks who the woman in the photo with the heroine is. She tells him that this is the hero's mother, who has been missing for a long time. Nan doesn't understand anything and asks what this has to do with Rin. She explains that she suspects the hero's mother is the one who sent the heroine to spy on the company so that she and her son could take it over, and of course they won't allow that to happen. Nan starts thinking about his mother's words, while Thania continues to poison his mind with her manipulative talk. Meanwhile, our hero asks the heroine why she left her job, even though she is talented, loved by him, and loved by all the employees. Even the dear viewer watching her loves her. She finally says she will tell him the truth, admitting that she can't continue with him because she lied to him. He asks her what she lied about, but she hesitates and can't bring herself to say it. He starts guessing, asking if she left because she has feelings for him and is afraid that he doesn't love her back. At that point, he decides to confess that he is attracted to her and wants to be with her. She reacts in shock, saying they are from completely different worlds and that she made a huge mistake, one that, if he discovered it, would make him think she deserves to be fired. He assures her that he would never hurt her and begs her to come back with him to the company, suggesting they deal with everything else later. He finally confesses that he loves her. Eventually, our heroine agrees to give their relationship a chance. She returns to the company with him and promises that after 1 week, she will tell him everything. The next day at work, our hero keeps watching her closely, sticking by her side, afraid she might run away again. He feels there is something strange between them. Thania confirms his doubts, telling him that the heroine is trying to exploit him and that something suspicious is going on. Because of this, he calls Thania and tells her that he agrees with her plan and will help get rid of the secretary. When Thania finds out that our hero is defending the secretary, she becomes even angrier and thinks of a stronger plan to get rid of her, possibly even killing her. She goes to confront the secretary, but at the last moment, the hero appears, defends her, and tells Thania that he never loved her and never will. He asks her to leave his secretary alone, takes the heroine, and leaves. Thania goes to Nan, upset, blaming him for everything that happened. She tells him that if he had confessed his feelings earlier, none of this would have happened. She keeps provoking him until he gives in and tells her that he will stand by her in anything and is ready to destroy the hero and get rid of him. A very important meeting is held with all the investors. Our heroine goes to wait for the hero to present and explain all the applications, but she is shocked when Nan enters and announces that he will be presenting on the hero's behalf. She rushes to look for the hero in his office office, only to be shocked to find the office in chaos, with him holding a photo. When he sees her, he throws it at her and angrily asks who the woman in the photo with her is, since he can't recognize the face. The heroine is stunned and doesn't know what to say, realizing she must finally tell him the truth, that the photo is of his mother. The hero becomes furious and storms out of the office. Meanwhile, Nan confidently presents the company's applications, impressing the investors, who give him their business cards and ask to work with him in the future. Everyone starts asking about the hero, but he is nowhere to be found, and the secretary is missing too. Nan's manipulative mother takes advantage of the situation, telling them that the hero and the heroine are secretly in a relationship and are probably busy together, not caring about the company. At the same time, the heroine returns home completely broken, feeling that she is responsible for everything that happened because the hero kept asking her about his mother, and every time she said she didn't know anything, her mother tells her that she did the right thing because it was his mother who asked her to keep this secret and not burden herself with it. Thanaya takes advantage of the situation and goes to the hero, offering to help him if he agrees to date her. He angrily rejects her, threatening her if she ever shows her face again. Furious, Thanaya goes to Nan and tells him what happened. Nan reveals that his grandfather also refused to promote him, saying that the company needs both him and the hero together, and that neither of them should be above the other. This makes Nan extremely angry. He complains that he is always the second choice, and admits that he is willing to sacrifice the secretary and create a huge scandal for the hero. Thania realizes that they now have 3 enemies, since the heroine's mother has appeared, and they must find a way to get rid of all 3. The heroine then decides to send the hero a message apologizing for hiding the truth from him. She tells him she will make it up to him and take him to visit his mother, but he refuses and asks for the address, saying he will go alone. She gives it to him. At the same time, Nan's manipulative mother sends someone to kidnap the hero's mother. However, the man discovers that she has already left the church where she had been living and can't be found. Furious, she orders him to keep searching and bring her back by any means before the hero reaches her, but it's too late. The hero arrives first. When he sees his mother, neither of them recognizes the other, as her illness has progressed and she has lost all her memories. He is shocked to discover that she had stayed away from him because she has Alzheimer's. He feels overwhelming guilt for having wronged her all this time and decides to make up for the lost years and take care of her. Meanwhile, the heroine goes, as usual, to deliver the pastries. She is surprised when the woman she delivers to argues with her and asks why she seems upset with her. She tells her that the hero hasn't been going to work for a while and that if he doesn't return, the money she paid will be withdrawn. The heroine is shocked to learn that he hasn't been going to work, so she decides to go to the company to ask about him. When she arrives, she finds that Nan has taken over his office. She confronts him and realizes he is not a good person, accusing him of exploiting the hero during his difficult time and trying to take his place. Nan gets angry and says that he worked hard to reach where he is, that he achieved everything through his own effort, and that she can think whatever she wants about him. He doesn't care about anyone except himself. We move on to our hero, who discovers that there is only one way for his mother to regain her memories, by reminding her of the past. That's why he immediately decides to go to the heroine and asks her to teach him how to make the chocolate his mother used to always prepare. We then move to Nan's manipulative mother, who starts playing with her son's mind and convinces him that this is the perfect opportunity to take over the company, especially since the grandfather is busy searching for the hero. At the same time, the heroine starts teaching the hero how to make the chocolate until suddenly he becomes exhausted. When he wakes up the next day, he finds the heroine's mother welcoming him warmly and refusing to let him leave until they all have breakfast together. Afterward, when everything feels calm and happy, Nui sits with him and asks to talk for a bit. She asks him when he plans to return to the company and reminds him that he has many responsibilities, that he can't stay on vacation forever, and that he needs to be more serious about everything around him. He also thinks about the heroine and realizes that if there is a problem, he must solve it with her before it grows and someone else slips away from his life again. Now he takes advantage of the situation and admits that she can't trust him fully, so she needs to send someone from her side with him. She decides to appoint the heroine to stay with him everywhere. She tells her to stick close to him, to be inseparable, explaining that he is kind, naive, and easy to deceive, and that she must not allow him to leave the company because of work. The hero takes advantage of the moment and tells the heroine that he can't forgive her, but he also can't live without her. Romance, of course, finds its way in. After all, emotions can't be ignored. Meanwhile, Nan goes to meet Thania and tells her that he has a new plan to take over the company. She immediately agrees, saying that anything that leads to the hero's destruction, she is fully on board with. Back to the heroine. When the hero goes to visit his mother, the nurse tells him that she has escaped and they can't find her. He searches for her like a madman until he finds her in the garden with a small child. She thinks he is her son, and when she sees his face, she suddenly recognizes him and runs to hug him. He is still processing the fact that his mother recognized him when the biggest shock happens. His condition suddenly improves, and he can finally see his mother's facial features clearly. He is overjoyed and can't believe it. He hugs the heroine and thanks her, realizing she is the reason behind everything that happened. He convinces his mother to come back home with him and promises to provide her with everything she needs. When she agrees and moves in with him, he brings in the best doctor to take care of her. He then decides to refocus on his work and tells the heroine that he loves her. He also asks her to bring his secretary back to help him again, and she agrees. We move to Tanaya, who buys a large number of shares to become a partner in the company, planning to humiliate and belittle the hero after believing she would take full control of the company. Back to the heroine, who tells the hero what is happening at the company, how all the employees are now siding with Nan and no longer care about his return. The hero tells her that he is ready to give up everything just to live with her and his mother and protect them. She asks him not to rush and reassures him that she is by his side and won't allow anyone to hurt him. At the same time, Nan and his poisonous mother start preparing to take full control of the company. They decide to hold a nighttime meeting to seize the opportunity and completely remove the hero from the company. The next day, when the heroine goes to the company, she notices someone following her. When she confronts him, he runs away. She tells the hero, who finally decides it's time to put an end to everything. He storms into the company during the meeting, confronts everyone with everything he knows, and the investors vote on who they believe is more suitable to run the company. In the end, the hero regains his position, ruins Thania and the mother's plan, and the heroine rejoices that he has been given a second chance. The hero promises to return to work stronger than before. Later, the heroine goes to the bathroom, where Thania tries to harass her again. This time, however, the heroine doesn't stay silent. She warns her that she won't tolerate her behavior anymore and threatens to pull her by the hair if she touches her again. Thania becomes furious at her boldness. Thania then goes to Nan and takes advantage of the situation. Along with his mother, she continues manipulating him. She asks him for the programmer's contact information and plans to leak the investor's data to destroy the company entirely. Nan, driven by jealousy and anger, agrees to help her. When Nan enters the elevator, he finds the hero there, and they start arguing. Nan confronts him with the truth, accusing him of doing everything because the heroine rejected him. The hero is furious, but remains firm, warning Nan that if the matter involves his loved one or his mother, he will see a completely different side of him. Meanwhile, Thania meets with two programmers and convinces them to leak the data. The next day, the hero wakes up to a shocking disaster. All user data for his application has been leaked. The company's shares have plummeted, and no one wants to work with them anymore. When Nan finds out what happened, he goes straight to Thania and lashes out at her, accusing her of acting recklessly and destroying everything he built, especially since he was the only one working hard at the company. She tells him that this is actually his opportunity to rise again, become the director, take over the company, and easily remove the hero. She gives him money to compensate the affected users and win them over. Nan angrily gives her the money back and tells her he will no longer be involved with them. Enough disasters have happened. He decides to go to his grandfather to resolve the issue and help the hero. When he goes to his grandfather, he finds the hero there. The grandfather becomes suspicious of Nan, especially since Nan's application is very similar to the hero's, yet Nan's data was never leaked. When confronted, Nan explodes in anger and denies knowing anything. To ease the situation, the hero announces that he will resign. He tells his grandfather that Nan is ready to take responsibility and become the director, claiming that Nan is better than him and everyone else. He suggests holding a meeting to announce his resignation on the condition that a full investigation be conducted to identify who leaked the data. When the heroine finds out what happened, she rushes to comfort her beloved. Nan joins them and pretends that he and Thania will help and that Thania will even speak to the press. The hero believes that Thania has finally changed and wants to help him quietly after his resignation, but he later realizes that she only wants to mock and humiliate him until the very end. The hero holds a press conference to announce his resignation and names Nan as the new president. When the hero calls Nan to speak in front of the journalists, Thania suddenly steps in and speaks instead. She announces that she owns a large percentage of the company's shares and will therefore serve as co-director alongside Nan. She then tries to exploit the moment again by offering the hero a chance to stay in the company if he fires his secretary, promising to return his position as president. He refuses, making it clear clear that he no longer cares about the company and is completely done with it. Nan later speaks to the heroine and notices her cold attitude toward him. She admits that she knows exactly who is responsible for what happened to the hero, but has chosen to stay silent. Nan confesses that for once, he felt he had to do something for himself, that he abandoned her, even though he loved her, because he couldn't abandon the company he also loved. He feels deep guilt and realizes how selfish he was, and how easily he allowed others to manipulate him. The hero then decides to start a new company and rebuild his life from scratch with the heroine. When Noe learns what happened, she stands by the hero, cancels her contract with Nan's company, and prepares to introduce the hero to new foreign investors. We move to the hero's mother, who begins to remember her past and how she ended up in this state. She breaks down, but refuses to tell the hero anything. He reassures her, tells her he understands everything, and asks her never to hide anything from him again. She finally tells him about his aunt, how she was manipulative, how she and her husband hated her deeply, and how that hatred intensified after she gave birth to the hero, knowing he would one day share the company with their son. She explains how the aunt took advantage of the situation and her illness, threatened her with her son's life, and forced her to leave, warning that if she didn't disappear, she and her child would be killed. Out of fear, she left. Meanwhile, Nan meets the programmers, who leaked the data, and discovers that Thania manipulated them, making them believe that Nan himself had ordered the leak. One of the programmers, named Ace, seizes the opportunity and demands a large sum of money, threatening to inform the grandfather of everything, that the programmers leaked the data under Nan's orders. Nan begins to feel intense pressure from all sides, especially after his grandfather warns him not to trust Thania. The hero then receives a video sent by his grandfather, announcing a company-wide meeting and requesting the presence of all employees, including Thania. Thania attends the meeting without understanding what's going on, until the grandfather arrives and announces that an investigation has been completed and that they have identified who leaked the information. Thania is shocked and furious, confronting Nan and asking how he could do this without consulting her, clearly upset that she doesn't want any investigation to take place. She begins telling everyone that half of the company now belongs to her, that she has control over it, and that she can do whatever she wants. She openly challenges everyone, shocking Nan and his manipulative mother, revealing that they had been naive and that she had planned everything from the beginning, exploiting them in order to take control of the company. Suddenly, in the middle of all this, the grandfather collapses and suffers a heart attack. Nan quickly rushes him to the hospital. When our hero arrives and learns what happened to his grandfather, Nan finally feels deep guilt and realizes that everything that happened was because of her. When the heroine notices this, she goes to comfort her and assures her that it isn't her fault and that Thania exploited her just as she exploited everyone else. At the same time, the hero goes to Nan and they decide to reconcile and stand together again for their grandfather's sake. The doctor then comes out and reassures them that their grandfather is stable, but he has a heart condition and must be treated carefully from now on. Both the hero and Nan are shocked to discover that their grandfather had been ill for quite some time. This encourages them to unite and stand together against Thania. On the way, Nan tells the hero that he didn't know Thania's true story and that she was behind everything that happened to their company. He says he was just as shocked as the hero, and when he found out, he couldn't act because she had trapped him. Meanwhile, Thania begins preparing her final major plan to completely destroy the company's reputation. Nan manages to come up with an idea that could save the company and goes to check on his grandfather. At the same time, Thania takes advantage of the situation and calls a meeting, gathering all the anxious shareholders after rumors spread that the company was facing bankruptcy. Users of their applications are now protesting and demanding refunds. Although she is not yet the president, she claims she can fix everything and asks everyone to vote for her to become president and solve the crisis. As everyone starts voting in her favor, Nan suddenly enters with the hero. They hold a public meeting in front of the press. The hero apologizes publicly and tells the entire story from the beginning, revealing that Thania was behind everything that happened to the company. He presents all the evidence so people will believe them. All of this happens in front of Thania, who completely collapses as everything suddenly turns against her. Because of what happened and because they united, the hero and Nan manage to return to the company. Everyone forgives them and gives them another chance. Noi also returns to invest with them again. It is decided that the rightful president should be their aunt, since she worked hard for the company in the past. The hero chooses to forgive her and give her a second chance, working with her again. This makes her feel deep remorse, and she decides to correct her mistakes. She goes to apologize to his mother, brings her back to live with them again, and tries to atone for all the wrongs she committed. The hero also decides to complete complete his happiness by marrying the heroine. She finally agrees to be with him. And with that, our story ends here. Please like and subscribe. See you in the next part. Goodbye. Our series begins with Gina, a girl who is famous at school for her beauty and talent, which makes all the boys admire her. Gina is also training at a company because she dreams of becoming a famous idol. She's known for all